Welcome in. I know there's numerous people flooding into the live stream. They just got that notification, and their heart just soared a little bit. I'm mainly just talking so Sanders can check the sound.
My iPad is loading.
Yeah, you're chilling. I'm chilling. JP's chilling.
Yeah, I don't know if Tucker's in here today, so we're checking ourselves because it's crazy. We haven't recorded a show since, I guess, last Wednesday. So It's been over a week.
But it's our longest stretch, and who knows how long realistically.
Of not doing a show?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
And it's just been a bit of down period anyway, because then, first week of March Madness, we didn't do a Thursday show. So it's fun to be back. And I can't wait for Monday.
All right, we're ready.
What is up, team? And welcome back to another episode of the Technical Foul Podcast. You're joined by the three of us today. I'm Jack Anderson. To my right is JP Pusilowski, and to my left is Sanders Oakley. We are live for y'all just past 6 on this nice Thursday evening. With that being said, how are we doing today, boys?
Fantastic. It's going to be a crowded show because we didn't record Monday because the championship was Monday night. So, yeah, it's going to be probably a long one, and I'm going to be sitting here trying to not touch anything. I sliced my thumb kind of open doing dishes earlier today, and so I'm trying to not touch anything, which makes using a keyboard very difficult when you cannot use your thumb. But we're gonna power through. I'm gonna be over here pecking away. I'm gonna be doing this on my keyboard, one finger.
I washed dishes for a whole summer.
Mm-hmm.
Never once cut my finger.
Yeah,
I did, however. Because you're just your hands are in water so much they get really soft.
Yeah.
I pinched my finger between one of the crates we put the glasses in to slide in the dishwasher.
Yep.
And the metal railing that we put them up on. And since my fingers were soft, it just
tore,
split. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, that's tough. We'll edit that out in post for the faint of heart listeners.
No, they got to lock in.
Yeah.
It's just
I have now cut my finger twice this semester while doing dishes. So
gotta get you in the kitchen.
It's when I'm doing dishwasher, great. When I start doing it by hand, it gets tough.
Do you just start trying to go fast, get through it?
Yeah, I was trying to do it fast. I also had a YouTube video going, so I was not even looking at the knife that I was cleaning.
I really don't have much sympathy at that point, to be honest.
I don't remember what I was watching. I can't remember what I was watching. Probably something baseball related. I've been watching some baseball YouTube stuff. I found an interesting channel, a guy that broke down it's a 30-minute mini documentary about the 2010 baseball, MLB baseball, and then it was the 2000s, and it's just really fun because I didn't watch baseball at that time.
What's the channel?
The MLB's Not Real or something.
Mm-hmm. I think I've heard of that channel. Baseball doesn't exist or something like that.
Yeah, baseball doesn't exist, something like that. But it was really fun because having not watched baseball in the 2000s and not really the 2010s either, I went I didn't watch baseball in the 2010s. Not really. I just didn't. It was really cool to hear names that I've heard before, but not really known how great they were.
Toss a name out there because I'm just curious who they were talking about. Just either 2010s or 2000s.
Oh boy. Okay. First of all, I didn't realize that Aaron Boone played for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
And had some big moments there as a player. That was kind of cool. Let's see who else really stood out. They talked a lot about Bryce Harper. And I watched. He had one mini documentary that what happened to all the best prospects from 2011, and one of them was a Braves pitcher, who I believe was in the leagues in the MLB until last year, and maybe even still is.
Julio Teheran?
Potentially, that could have been him. Another guy, I can't remember all the names, but it was just really cool to kind of give some context to the MLB that I didn't know as much about. Talked about Mike Trout, and how his dominance in the 2010s. Watching the 2000s was cool because it was talking about like that was like the tail end of the doping stuff, like
Yeah, it was at its height, late 90s, mid to late 90s probably.
Yeah.
But, like, guys like Barry Bonds were still in the league and still raking.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, I'm blanking on his name.
So it was anyway. So that's I've been watching that recently, just kind of because the MLB is just started, so it's exciting. It hasn't got to the boring part of the summer yet. But I don't know. I hope to be more invested in the MLB than I ever have been.
Sure.
Because it's been, I don't know, it's pretty cool. And that is how I am doing. JP, how are you doing?
I know you're doing great.
Nah,
Tell me you've
I'm
played a
doing
lot
all
of
right.
golf this week and you're not doing pretty great.
I practiced a lot of
Okay,
golf.
that's fair.
There is something to that. I mean, it is maybe all sports. I think you could argue for all sports. You get out what you put in.
Yeah, 100%.
And unfortunately, you have to practice a ton to, play the best. And so I've been practicing every single day, which it has been fun, and practice has been good. It hasn't been frustrating practice, which is actually really nice.
Yeah.
In fact, it's been maybe like a positive end of frustrating of, man, I'm hitting the ball so well right now. Why wasn't I doing so well 4 days ago?
Yeah.
And, man, I wish I could play literally right now.
Yeah.
But the course is so booked because the Masters started this week, and so I
That's
can't
all
get a tee time.
anyone is thinking about.
Yeah, that's all anyone's doing. Everyone's playing golf. Which you know how there's like the stereotype of the girl that is like the pick-me girl that's like, you won't find any other girl like me.
Sure. Yeah.
Unfortunately, here at State, and this is not a new thing, but every guy is the exact same.
I can't wait to hear your description. I want to know what I'm like.
The country boys, at least.
Sure.
And the ones, even the ones that are playing golf, they are all literally the exact same. They all dress the same. They wear the same brands of shirts, the same damn hat. The parking lot at the Mississippi State University course. Any guesses on what every single car is?
I'm going to go with lots of trucks.
Just an F-150, a Silverado.
Yeah.
Every single one is a truck. So yeah, it's hilarious to me as a city boy.
Sure.
As someone who drives a truck himself.
I do drive it, but I drive a Tacoma. And
Okay.
it's not a souped up Tacoma, and it's not a loud F-150. That I don't need diesel in my car.
Big win for you these days.
Yeah, a very big win. But it's hilarious to me. And it's no different out there on the golf course. They are all the exact same, wearing the exact same thing. They all make the same jokes and whatnot. I did overhear one dude said that he thinks the walking bully is the worst Mississippi State logo.
Okay, that's a hot take.
Were you wearing the hat and he
I
said
was
it
wearing
to you?
this hat. He didn't say it to me, but we were both on the putting green, and yeah, that was a tough one. But I was also wearing this logo, the MRS logo, and that's his favorite logo apparently, our baseball logo. So
they were just critiquing your outfit.
I guess
from across the putting green.
I guess. But a hot take by him that kind of got me off my game on the putting green. I had to relock in.
Sure.
But I'm doing all right. There's a lot of stuff going on. It is very, and I think some of our listeners could speak to this because they've already graduated, and even one of our co-hosts can speak to this because he's already graduated. It's crazy how quickly it has turned from, man, every day feels so slow, to I only have 30 days left before I'm off this campus.
Yeah.
Now, you haven't left this campus by your own choice.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I have 30 days left as a student at Mississippi State. That's pretty crazy.
It is.
And there's so much, I'm going to say, so much shit to do.
Sure.
And then a final 30 days, too. It's
Sure.
crazy.
Well, hopefully you get through all that quickly, seamlessly, smoothly, whatever you want to say.
Yep.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited for NBA playoffs is really what is, what's kind of
What's
catching my
consumed you?
attention right now. But with that being said, why don't we get into the show? Sanders is going to kick us off with what we normally would do Monday, Mississippi State recap, all the C-ball, hit-ball sports. I'll follow it up with my weekly segments. We're going to talk about the national championship title game between UConn and Michigan for a little bit, and then it's going to be a JP all-fun mock draft is what he has labeled it. We don't exactly know what that means, we being me and Sanders.
I
But
think
hopefully it delivers
every
on the
pick has to include a trade, so every pick has been traded.
Oh, wow.
The first guess of every pick was a meme is wrong. Not every pick's a meme.
I figured that'd be a little too much, but my guess is you just taking a little swing and misses. Not swings and misses, but like some swings, some outside-the-box picks.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of picks here that we've seen before.
Okay, and I'm happy
I
for
think
that.
I will say that.
As we've now done 4 mocks,
Something
so
like
it's
that.
nice for a little change up. With that being said, take us away, Sanders, for your weekly segment. Excuse me, your Mississippi State recap.
I mean, it is my weekly segment.
This is true.
But yeah, Mississippi State this week. We'll start with basketball. Transfer portal has opened as of Monday at midnight. State has had 6 guys enter or are expected to enter and have not entered yet. Jamarian Davis Fleming was a freshman from Mississippi, averaged 20 minutes, 4 points a game, 5 rebounds a game. He did look like at times he was going to be the future of the post for Mississippi State, and there's still a chance he returns, but he's in the portal. Delquan Warren, a sophomore, entered. Kind of surprising. He played less minutes a game this year than he did his freshman year. So he's entered, and he will have 2 years of eligibility remaining. Amir Ali, transfer from Arizona State, sophomore. He's entered the portal, played 19 minutes a game at Arizona State, just 7 here at Mississippi State. Hit the game winner in overtime against New Orleans. I don't know if y'all remember that. JP, I imagine you remember that.
I remember it.
He hit that game winner and did not play more than 10 minutes in a single game for the rest of the season. Sergei Matsura, international, so I don't know what his classification is. I feel like international players, you don't really know until someone says, all right, you're done. And with the way the
that's
NCAA
fair.
is now, it's like, who knows
No
how long
one
that's going to
says
take.
you're done.
But I don't know what classification is. Played 28 games, averaged 19 minutes, 5 points, 5 rebounds. Brandon Walker has entered the portal. He's already played 4 years, and so has Achor, who also entered the portal. They've both played 4 years of college basketball. So they will either appeal or see if this new NCAA ruling about 5 years from the day you turn 19 or graduate, if that comes through, do they get an extra year? I imagine that's what they're looking for. But they both enter the portal, and we have not had anybody commit to out of the portal yet. So right now the roster is Josh Hubbard. I believe I saw somewhere that T. Bartlett is expected to enter, but then I couldn't find it anywhere else, so I didn't list him.
Sure.
But I do believe he was expected to enter. And Josh Hubbard is expected to return as of right now. Then King Grace, that was a big one. Yes, he announced his return. He was our highest rated player in this freshman class. So he's expected to be back. On the women's basketball front, the good news we've already had was that Madison Francis and Favored Nwedozi will both be back next year. Francis for her sophomore year, Nwedozi as an international player for her senior-ish year, something like that.
Sure.
We've had everyone else has either graduated or entered the portal. Alwa Fain, international player, played 22 games, averaged 10 minutes and 3 points. She was a great three-point shooter and played a big part in the, I believe, Arkansas win. Big part of the Arkansas game, believe it was a win at Arkansas. She played a big part in that. Rocio Jimenez, I don't know if I said that name right. Her name has not been said a lot. She's not played a lot. She's an international player. She's been here since the spring of 2024. She was an early enrollee halfway through the 2023-2024 season, but injuries just kind of meant that she never figured it out and had opportunities to play, averaged like 3 minutes a game and under a point a game. Jayla Lampley was a freshman, 4-star, played in 30 games, averaged 20 minutes a game and 8 points a game, and she's into the portal. As I predicted this on December 29th, I have a text. I went back and checked to one Tucker Medlin, who's often in the chat and listens to the show. I'm going to go ahead and put my money on Lampley transferring to LSU. Her sister's an LSU commit for 2026. That was late December. And here we are 4 months later. She is in the portal, and that's one of the places that she's expected to go. I think Ole Miss is also in the running, but
Sure.
would not be surprised to see her follow her sister to LSU. Natalia Gray, freshman. She was a 4-star according to ESPN last year. Did not play much, but she's talented. Averaged over a little over 2 points a game as a freshman. Sanaya King transferred from Howard. An ankle injury kind of slowed her down to start the season. Finished the season with 26 games, 14 minutes, 2.5 points a game. So nothing. She did not blow away. She was much better statistically at Howard, but I think the adjustment to the SEC and then injuries early in the season kind of hampered that. And then the last player who technically is transferring out is Faith Wilder, but she's not even on the roster anymore. I don't think she's been with the program for a little bit.
Yeah.
The good news is that we've got 2 very good players coming in as freshmen, and one of them is bringing her older sister. Callie Smallwood is transferring from UAB. She spent the last 2 years there, started at Montevallo, which is a school that I've only ever heard of one person going to. So now that's 2 people that I've heard of going to Montevallo. Played 30 games last year at UAB, 34 minutes a game, 14 points a game, and shot almost 42% from 3 on 7.5 attempts per game. So she was putting up shots and she was hitting them. So that's exciting to have her come in. And now we've got Madison, Favor, her, and then 2 freshmen. That's the start of the roster. We'll be interested to see how it develops as the portal goes on. Baseball went 2-3 this week. It's weird because we don't usually get to talk about the Tuesday game, and I'm not going to talk about it, but we don't even usually include it in the record of the week. But we go 2-3. We won last Tuesday against Grambling. No, I can't remember off the top of my head what 2 weeks ago it was.
Not a power team.
No. Excuse me. It was Grambling. So Tuesday of this week, 2 days ago, was UAB. The Tuesday before that was Grambling. So we won those 2 midweeks. We got swept by Georgia. Each game was kind of a different story. So game 1, we had pitching troubles early. Charlie Foster took the mound for the second straight, not Friday, but the second straight game 1 because he pitched Friday against Ole Miss. This was a Thursday start, but for the second straight game 1, Charlie Foster took the mound. And then we gave up a 3-run second and a 4-run fifth. And then after we go down 10-2, the team battled back in the 7th and 9th innings, and we proceed to lose the game 10-9. Really unfortunate as pitching accounted for 10 walks, 3 wild pitches, and 2 pass balls. So game 1 was just a story of us giving Georgia far too much help for their offense. It's already one of the best in the country. Game 2, Tomas Valinkis came in and does exactly what he's done throughout the entirety of SEC play. Against that Georgia offense, he goes 7 innings pitched with 4 hits and 2 runs and 10 strikes. Unfortunately, the offense did not show up to support that. We had left 13 runners on base and went 1 for 20 with runners on base and 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position.
Yikes.
Yeah, that was kind of the tale of game 2 and 3 was an inability to get hits with guys on base and guys in scoring position. Aiden Teal left that game. He took a pitch to the foot, and we've seen him since then without a boot or crutches. We saw him, I believe, that night in a boot with crutches on, but since then he's been walking around just in tennis shoes in the dugout. So we will wait and see what his expected return is. We're still waiting also on Ryan McPherson. We're talking about injuries. Ryan McPherson, who was initially in a brace after his injury, has been seen without a brace, so waiting to see exactly when he'll be back. Game 3, the exact same situation, situational hitting misses as game 2. 2 for 15 with runners on base and 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Duke Stone got the Sunday start, allowed 5 hits, 3 walks, and 4 innings pitched, but consistently escaped with minimal damage. I believe he only actually ended up with 2 runs allowed. So 5 hits and 3 walks in 4 innings to get out of that with that few runs allowed. That's kind of what he did against Ole Miss, and it's what he did against Georgia. I jokingly said we should just intentionally walk the first couple of guys he faces because at this point he's just getting his pitch count up. He's going to get out of it. Like
sure.
He's shown he's going to get out of it. He's done that now 2 weekends in a row. So let's just intentionally walk the first guy to save his arm and maybe get 5 or 6 innings out of him. That's how we lost game 3. The last time we hosted a top 5 matchup in Starkville was 2021 versus Arkansas. Arkansas came into Starkville. They swept us. And then 2 months later, we won the College World Series.
I like the
everyone else
copium pivot.
Go home. It's been a good season, but this season is over. we will take the trophy. We've already got a spot for it. We can put it right next to the one we already have. But good season, everybody else. Congratulations to Mississippi State. No, this is a good learning experience. And, another great opportunity this weekend. Tennessee comes to town. Tennessee is trying to kind of find their identity under a new head coach. So it's going to be a fun series this weekend. And then Super Bulldog weekend is coming up, I believe, in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be another great weekend with LSU coming to town. Softball goes 1-2. We had a chance to take the series at number 5 Florida, but we fall to 1-3 in series deciding game 3s versus top 25 opponents. So we've now had 4 Sundays that we could have taken the series against a top 25 opponent, and we are now 1-3. I believe in all 3 of the losses too, we lost 1 loss. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it was a loss, a win, and then a loss. So if we can just win the first one or figure out how to win the third one, right now we are, according to Pair Ratings, who I started following for baseball, but he started to put out some softball stuff, we are like the 17 seed. It's us and LSU that, depending on where you look, are flipping back and forth for hosting a regional.
Gotcha.
So very much still in play. Big opportunity this weekend as Arkansas comes to town. So that will be another opportunity for a top 25 win, our second of the season. Men's tennis goes 1-1, beat number 35 Arkansas, and then lost on the road at number 11 Oklahoma. And finally, my personal favorite and the biggest Mississippi State event of the season, women's tennis gets a win against South Carolina. They win 4-0. They had been 0-2 before today, this last week. And with that, they now have more SEC wins this year than the previous 4 years combined. So shout out the women's tennis team and their improvement. And that is your Mississippi State Weekly Update.
Men's tennis just didn't do anything?
I just ran through them. They went 1-1.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I literally just said it very quickly because it wasn't anything of note. Beat a number 35, lost to number 11 Oklahoma. Tennis is ranked 6th. Baseball is ranked 9th, 8th, depending on where you look.
Yeah.
Softball's in the teens. And that's about it.
Cool. Well, thanks. It was a tough weekend for baseball.
It was. I think
it
every
happens.
game we lost by 2 runs.
Yeah, it happened.
Or less. Now we can do your weekly stuff.
Yeah, let's get into it. Some good stuff here, I would argue, but also I'm the one bringing it to the table, so I would.
Not at all biased.
You should hope that I think it's good stuff. Cock of the Walk, pretty easy for me. I thought about going biased and going Braves manager Walt Weiss for his tackle on Jorge Soler, because at 63 years old to form tackle Jorge Soler as effectively as he did, that deserves some props. But I give it to Joe Adell for 3 home run robberies in one game, and not just 3 in one game, but 3 legit ones. They weren't ones where, sometimes they called a home run robbery, and it's like, okay, I'm not sure that was going to get over the fence, like he just kind of caught it up against the wall. They were 3 for sure home run robberies, the last one consisting of him tumbling over the low wall in right field at Angel Stadium. And there's a sick photo where he's like standing up, and the photo's taken behind him so you can see the whole field. He's like standing up in the stands. And they won the game 1-0, which makes it even more sick because you could just kind of argue he single-handedly won them that game with his defensive play. We don't have record of this, but it kind of feels like he probably is the first person to ever rob 3 home runs in one game. Feels like a pretty safe bet. Very rare feat. Very deserving cock of the walk for Joe Adell. Electric. For winner chicken dinner, I unfortunately had to give it to the Oklahoma City Thunder for locking up the number 1 seed for the 3rd straight year, which puts them in pretty rare company. They're now, I believe, the 6th team to ever be the 1 seed in their conference 3 years in a row. And other teams that have done it is like the Warriors from 2015 to 2017, when they were at the height of their powers with Steph Curry. Oh, Larry Bird's Celtics did it, Oh, Michael Jordan's Bulls did it. Magic Johnson's Lakers did it. It's a very rare feat, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, they put themselves in special company with a lot of storied elite hallowed teams in NBA history. So that's why they get that honor of being the winner of chicken dinner for this week. Finally, rotten egg, and we've had worse rotten eggs. I want to preface this, but if you just go look at Roman Anthony and some of his throws in from the outfield this season, noodle arm becomes pretty apt. It's not great. He has a 5%.
Fifth percentile.
Fifth percentile, thank you. I was trying to figure out the way to say it. Arm value, according to StatCast. Like I said, noodle arm. Some of these throws are like 4 bouncing to home plate and also not on line. The book is currently out on him, like just run on him a ton, make him throw you out. I'm trying to think, and I'm really mad I'm blanking in that I'm just now making this connection. But I feel like there's a former Red Sox outfielder from like the 2000s that was known for having a noodle arm. And so now I'm just like, it's him reincarnated. Hold on. Give me like 20 seconds, guys. Come on. Now.
While you do that, I'll talk a little about your narrowly missed out cock of the walk, the Braves manager.
Sure.
I was watching the John Boy breakdown of that fight, and he said that he's like a Taekwondo, maybe not a black belt, but one of the belts.
See, I saw that on like Twitter and places.
Okay.
I just never knew if it was true or not, but it's very possible. I mean, the way he performed like that,
it was a form tackle.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, it was very impressive, which made it very believable. Maybe it's not believable. If so, can we give him an honorary belt? People get honorary degrees all the time. Can we give away an honorary belt of some sort? Because it was a great form tackle. It was up there with the JP. Do you remember when Texas A&M came here 4 years ago and we had people storm the field and we had? Do you remember this? The police officer tackled them as they were running across the Scott Field with their signs, and we had the police officer tackle them. Did you miss that?
In 2022?
Yeah, it would have been 2022, or was it 2020? It might have been 2020. It was a long time ago. It was whenever A&M.
2020 was the COVID year.
Did A&M play here that year?
My freshman year, we played in College Station.
So they probably would have played here that year.
That would have been 2021. 2022, they played here. That is 4 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like
So
it was
this year, 3 college football seasons ago. And that game was the Devon Achane fumble game.
Yep.
Was that also the Emmanuel Forbes?
Pick 6, but
Correct.
he stepped on the
He was
line.
very much inbounds.
I had a perfect view, and he did not step on the line.
Jack didn't have a
go
perfect
watch
view
the
because he was
replay.
watching from his couch back home.
I was
on
actually
TV.
at the game. So
Sure you were.
You can't take SEC Network camera footage and then say that's the law. Sadly.
Sure. We can take your 60 yards away view though.
I have better camera quality than my eyeballs have better camera quality.
I couldn't find it because anytime I'm trying to look it up and there's just everything about Roman Anthony. So
I don't know what you're referencing, Sanders.
I also don't know what he's referencing for the record, but that's not that surprising.
I swear it was versus Texas A&M because I think that I believe it was a.
We only stormed the football field once.
This was not a storming. This
it
was
a streaker.
It was a streaker who I believe was a representative / member of PETA and also had something about y'all's dog. But I could just
I mean, that maybe feels like it's maybe ringing a little bit of a bell, but
I'm not gonna be able to just find this. Oh, that's so sad. Honestly, I bet if I texted my dad right now, he would remember it because it feels like something he would remember. But we can lock back on the show, and then what we'll do is while JP is monologuing for his mock draft,
I'll
do some digging, and then we'll wrap back around.
Okay. Well, with that being said, then that's the end of the weekly segment, so we can get into the final, not the Final Four review. It's really just a national championship review of the game that took place Monday night between UConn and Michigan. UConn versus Michigan faced off Monday night in the national championship game, and Michigan came out on top. All hail to the victors, go blue, whatever you want to say. Fairly ugly game offensively from both teams. I mean, just look at the score, 69-63. Not exactly fireworks. Both teams defended pretty well. Just some some limitations on both teams, kind of exterior to talent in terms of like Yaxel was hurt, and it really showed as he just like couldn't get downhill with any sort of force and impose his will like he normally does. Michigan, while they struggled offensively, were really good about getting UConn in foul trouble, so UConn had to rotate guys in and out, sit guys more than they wanted. The backup point guard had to play more than you would want, and that hurt them. And then like shots just weren't falling. So just kind of a combination of all those things led to this low-scoring game. UConn fought back with great sets from Dan Hurley to get shooters open. Mullins hit a couple big ones. Caravan hit a couple big ones. And so, like, even in an ugly game, like, that's something that was a joy to watch right there, is just kind of seeing the best college basketball coach right now do his thing and kind of drag his team out of the mud offensively. And they also had 22 offensive rebounds, which is another way to combat struggling to score, second chance opportunities, kick out to an open shooter, just like all of a sudden there's an easy layup. And also, I think some of those rebound opportunities really was because of Yaxel. Like, he struggled to be quick to box out and get on his guy. So whoever he was guard kind of skirt around and grab the board, among other things.
Did y'all think that he looked like watching the game Saturday night? I was terrified. Did y'all? I felt like he was not. He was above, like, I'd say like 80%. Like, he wasn't terrible on Monday.
He
played
better.
well, but he didn't, like, when I say terrible, he didn't look.
He could actually run up the court.
Correct.
Kind of.
Correct.
He definitely looked better, but then like I said, like anytime he needed to really like make a move with power or like explode through somebody or past somebody, it just wasn't there.
Which is the best part of his game.
Correct.
He just didn't have that element.
And then
whatsoever.
I think a lot of that really isn't, maybe it was hurting a ton, but like it just is trust of like, I can't trust this leg that I know is currently hurt. And so that really affected them. And then offensively for Michigan, the way they fought back through kind of the slog and the bad shooting is, like I said, they got UConn in foul trouble.
Yep.
Which meant that UConn had sit their guys, but also meant Michigan shot 28 free throws, and they made 25 of them, which is fantastic numbers, especially for a college team. And they were on pace for even better, and then I think it was Roddy Gale missed 2 in a row late in the game. And then also they fought back with Elliot Cadeau was honestly pretty good in what they needed from him, which is funny because we dogged him in the Final Four preview. He ends up winning, MVP of the Final Four, and it was deserved because with the Yaxel injury, no LJ Kaysen because of the previous ACL injury earlier in the season, he was the only person for Michigan that really played with initiative and like played with intent and wasn't scared to like try and go make something happen. And they simply needed that. Like when he picked up 2 fouls and had to go out of the game, their offense really stalled because no one else could initiate any sort of offense. No one could get the ball to Mara, stuff like that. But that's kind of what I saw generally from the game. Like I said, big win for Michigan. Really well done by Dusty May. I'm a big fan of his. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He's really good at what he does. So yeah, I'm a fan. But what were y'all thoughts on the game?
I got to the first one being the toughness from Yaxel.
Sure.
The leadership to understand that, like, even him at 80%, his presence for that team, his leadership at his 36 years of age, was going to help carry his team. Like, even if he couldn't score to the degree that he had been able to throughout the tournament, him just being out there made a huge difference. It's not like the kind of impact that like a quarterback in the NFL would be, but I would kind of show it to like Mahomes going out there. Here I am, Chris Collinsworth, be like.
Now here's a guy.
Mahomes going out there and having all sorts of injuries, but having Mahomes at 75% is better than having Carson Wentz or Gardner Minshew or Chad Henne or whoever their backup quarterback ends up being. This year's going to be Justin Fields, apparently. But Yaxel being out there, his toughness, he plays 36 minutes, which is just second to Alex Karabin, who played every single minute of the game, all 40. Extreme toughness from him. And then, like you said, the free throws are a huge part of the game. It always brings me back to what my freshman and my JV basketball coach harped on so much. And it really is the key to basketball, and it's the fundamentals. And it is layups and free throws. You miss layups, you miss easy baskets, you leave points on the floor. You miss free throws, it's literally I always used to tell my teammates that were bad free throw shooters, it's literally in the effing name. Free throws. They're free. You should not be missing them. Michigan going 25 for 28 while only making 2 threes. Just 2 threes made, like, that's the difference in the game. That's a huge difference in the game, and their ability to get UConn in foul trouble and then knock down the free throws was, I thought, the reason they ended up taking this victory. Because I do feel like shots were, it's kind of just the NCAA tournament in a sense. While Michigan had scored 90-plus in every game prior, like, eventually, people are going to miss shots, and a bunch of shots are going to be missed, and, what the team is going to have to shoot on the left rim, which was a running joke this past weekend. Getting to the free throw line and getting free points was, I thought, the key to victory for Michigan.
I don't disagree. Anything you want to add, Sanders?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that you were talking about free throws, and you also said layup. So you didn't talk about the layup, but when I think about the layup of the game, it's a missed layup. And I'm trying to be sure I have the exact, 2 minutes left in the second half. It's 62-56. UConn gets a steal and then a fast break layup opportunity, and they can't finish. And one pass, three-pointer, and it's 65-56 instead of 58-62. Yeah. Michigan now has all the momentum with a minute 50 left after UConn had been chipping away, trying to make it a game. They'd made it a game. I believe at that point they had scored multiple three-pointers, not in a row, but they had chipped away. And that was kind of the dagger. I think if that layup goes in, UConn's got a really good chance of winning because the momentum had just been building and building and building.
4 points to them in the final 2 minutes is nothing.
Exactly. And so that's a huge 5-point swing that, I mean, obvious, like, the game, I hate the phrase, like, oh, that was game, but, like, that was unfortunately just a really...
It was a huge moment.
It was a missed opportunity.
You could say it's the turning point in the game.
Yeah, it was the turning point. It was the turning point in the game. And as someone who was rooting for UConn, that was pretty tough to see. It was just like, I felt like UConn had to work so hard for every single point they got.
Yep.
And Michigan did too, because UConn is a fantastic team. I'm not trying to short Michigan, but the amount of effort that UConn was having to put out just to get baskets, to get jump shots, to get open threes, the Michigan defense was just stifling.
It's the benefit of having 2 6'9" guys.
Yeah.
Oh, and those are guys that are actually 5 inches shorter than our 7'3" center.
Yep.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the state Christians team with DJ Jeffries and or Cameron Matthews and Tolu Smith.
Yeah. It was so the effort that UConn had to put out was just it was just tough and hard to see that working out for them and them coming out on top of that. But still, like you were talking about it, the freshman from UConn, the Braylon Mullins, I believe.
Yeah.
It was the physicality. I love the game. I'm not going to say I love the way the refs called it, but I did enjoy the physicality and the bodies flying. I think that at times it did get too physical and the refs let players get away with too much under the rim. But it felt like every single one of those players was willing to, like, dive for every ball.
They're going for everything,
and use elbows if they could sneak one in. Like, it was such a fun game to watch. I'm very, very happy. We talked about it in the preview. I said that because of how the NCAA tournament has become, where teams feel like they've kind of, glided through the first couple rounds and we see less Cinderella runs, that if we don't have great Final Four games, then it's just not worth it. And I think the championship absolutely lived up to that. I was very, very pleased with how that played out. And then, I mean, the Saturday games didn't live up to it as much, but that's not we're gonna talk about those really. But the championship, absolutely, it felt like a very high stakes game, which it should. Yeah, they did a great job of that.
They knew what was on the line. And the last thing I really have is just I want to give a shout out to Ade Mara, and he was phenomenal in the Final Four game. And then wasn't as good offensively against UConn, but really shut down Terrace Reed down low when he was in the game, and that was one of UConn's primary sources of offensive output and scoring output in the tournament. and he was just too big for Terrace Reed to move and too tall for Terrace Reed to shoot over, and so it was kind of a lost cause. And being able to play one-on-one against Terrace Reed really allowed the rest of the guys to do what they did and switch everything out wide and to shut down that UConn offense. So he was a huge key of that, even if he didn't necessarily have the best offensive day. But I think he's someone that's going to rise up draft boards.
Yeah, a lot of storylines coming out of that. The Terrace Reed storyline of he played for Michigan and UConn for 4 years, and in those 4 years, those teams won the championship 3 times, and he didn't win any of them, which is kind of a funny story coming out of that. The Michigan story of they bought the championship and, they just went and got the best players out of the portal. That's what some people are saying. Have you not seen that some people think that?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
have you seen it?
I have, but it's mainly from haters.
It is from haters, but
which is simply what they're doing. You're just hating because it's the nature of the sport now.
Correct.
But
correct.
it has been a narrative that's been out there, and also I just like to congratulate the Michigan team once again because they had a phenomenal season. They had a great tournament run. They were largely dominant. And so, for example, Nick Wright, first thing he does, gets on his show after and says, he's not going to remember this Michigan team. And, he just, the last memorable
was Villanova, North Carolina.
Was memorable title winner besides the back-to-back UConn teams was, Villanova. And it's all right, bro. Literally less than 24 hours.
Just say you didn't watch a single game until March.
Correct. Yeah, say
that's
you're not
exactly
a college basketball guy.
That's exactly what he's saying. Because if you didn't watch the regular season, which I didn't watch a whole lot of Michigan, I watched a lot of SEC basketball, but
even you knew we were headed towards this Michigan team is an all-time unit.
But if all you watched was March Madness, then Michigan didn't have a moment. Even UConn had more moments.
We got robbed of one,
game.
man.
Who did?
Well, just Yaxel was on a tear through the whole tournament, and I think if he doesn't get hurt, he caps off an extremely dominant single-player run in March Madness.
Yeah.
And so it does kind of feel like we missed out on that. That's honestly the thing I missed the most because he had been so good. He knew what was on the line. He had put more on his plate as the leader of that Michigan team, and so he just didn't get to finish it out 100%, which is tough.
Yeah.
Anything else? Or are we ready to move on to this all-fun mock draft?
The all-fun mock draft. I got to open up PFF. We're going to do that.
Let's get to it. I do want to, as you're putting it up, this is going to be part of the segment. Shout out Will Cheddar, lone holdout from the Juwan Howard Michigan team's elite name. Did miss a pretty easy layup in that game. Played about 4 minutes, but that's my GOAT. Gave Musa Diabate the Moose's Loose nickname, apparently. So just has given a lot to the game. I'll just say that.
Before we get into the mock, there are 16 players attending the NFL draft in Pittsburgh this year. We're going to 1 point per player.
Okay, we're just going to go back and forth?
Go back and forth. We'll see who can get the most points. We already confirmed that Fernando Mendoza won't be there. We talked about that off air, but he won't be there to be with his family to experience the draft in Miami, and he's the first number 1 overall pick to do that since Trevor Lawrence, I'm pretty sure, 2021.
Do you want to lean to your left, JP, for the...
Oh, yeah. I forgot that graphic comes up. So...
Name players who will be at the draft.
You can go first.
Sanders can go first. Sure.
Shot for shot.
16 players.
Caleb Downs. Swish.
He is there.
That was going to be my first guess. Sonny Styles.
He will be there. 1-1.
Can't miss the first one.
All right. This one's a little step back. Carnell Tate.
Carnell Tate will be there.
I'm going to try and round out the Ohio State players. Give me Arvell Reese.
Arvell Reese will be there.
Ooh, man.
Okay. They just don't have them listed by where they should as top
Yeah,
prospects. It's kind of hard. 2 for 2 each.
2 for 2. Okay, I got to think.
12 to go.
Best. Francis
Maui
Noah.
He will be there. 3-2.
David Bailey.
David Bailey will be there.
Okay.
3-all.
Ruben Bain.
Ruben Bain will be there.
Okay, that's
4-3.
That's a big one. Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love will be there.
Yeah.
4-all.
Makai Lemon.
Makai Lemon will be there.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's it.
5
He's
to
got to
4.
be there. He's got to be there.
Mansour Delane.
He will 5 all.
All right.
Shot
How
for
many?
shot, man.
So we've only got 6 left.
6
Yeah.
left. Each side of 5. So a miss and a make might do it.
Are we just going until we guess all 16?
Yeah.
Okay. I got to think about. Ty Simpson's not going to be there because he's literally a Fernando Mendoza clone, and Mendoza's not going to be there.
Okay.
I mean, I like that take.
Like if he's literally
like
just
that
Fernando,
logic.
yeah, he's Fernando Mendoza 2.0, and they're in the same draft class. I'm trying to think about players that like spotlight is them, but they're also good enough to get drafted in the first round.
Spotlight is them.
Other wide receivers, I don't think Jordan Tyson. I'm trying to see the big board in my mind.
Doing the exact same thing.
And you already said Jeremiah Love.
Correct.
We already got Caleb Downs. We know Mendoza's not going. I'm very glad you told us that before the show so that one of us did just like
Just rip.
Yeah,
Fernando Mendoza.
rip Fernando.
I had already seen it, thankfully, so I would have been aware. So I wish he didn't, honestly.
I
would've
will
let you sit
say
on that.
the first 10 that y'all got are like, yeah, that makes total
I'm
sense.
basically named like the top 10 players.
Okay.
I will say with these
okay.
final 6, it is a lot. Actually, it's a lot harder than those first.
This
10.
one's a contested 3. Kenyon Sadiq.
He will not be there.
Big.
I like that guess. That's a good guess.
I like that guess.
Dylan Thieneman.
Dylan Thieneman will not be.
Okay,
there.
thank goodness. Thank
Dang.
goodness. Vega Ioane, or however you say his last name.
He will not be there.
Jordan Tyson.
No way.
Jordan Tyson will be there.
No,
6 to
there's
5.
no
Jack.
way. There's no way.
5 remaining.
Okay, other wide receiver, not wide. Denzel Boston's the only other wide receiver.
Sure, Omar Cooper is it?
I saw him mock draft. He went 16th
That's
this
what I'm
morning.
saying.
I was listening to, I believe it was Check the Mic. Maybe it was Stock Exchange. I can't remember. I'm going to go Jamal McCoy.
Will not be there.
Dang, this is not good. This is a big chance for Jack.
Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
Will not be there.
Dang.
He's apparently slid out of the first round.
Oh, okay.
So
The
that's
more you know.
a big guess.
That's crazy. We're gonna have another safety fall to the second round and then be really, really good.
Maybe.
Like
Maybe.
Nick Emanwari.
There's
Oh yeah, I forgot I was avoiding Glock for the graph.
I may have to. I'll try. What I'll try to do next week is I'll put the thing on my side and I'll move the whole camera over so that you don't have to think about it because I feel like I think about it more because I'm looking right at it. You know what? Just to keep it moving, I'll say Ty Simpson to send it back to Jack.
6 all. He will be
He's
there.
there. Wow. Okay.
Dang.
He will be.
That's
Um,
huge.
What a moment that could be.
Yeah.
When Ty
Watching.
Simpson gets drafted first
Well,
overall.
it could be like an Aaron Rodgers kind of thing where he's
Mhm.
just sitting there all night.
Could be a Shedeur Sanders kind of thing.
It could be Shedeur if he had attended, that would have been unbelievable drama.
That would have been crazy.
It won't. I don't think it'll be to that level.
Surely
It'll
not.
be an angst of saying, do the Jets take him at 16, do the Steelers take him at 21, or does someone trade in?
Can I get Akeem Mesidor?
He won't be there.
Dang.
I'm really glad you guessed that because that's kind of who I was looking at for my next guess. I'm gonna say Denzel Boston just
He
because.
won't be there.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I was thinking wide receiver.
I'll take Omar Cooper.
You're incorrect.
That's big.
I thought maybe that they gotta get one Indiana guy there.
It is shocking there's no Indiana guys.
Yeah, that is odd.
But really only 2 of them are first round worthy.
I mean, we're just missing 4. This is true. We're just missing 4 guys.
Yeah. Which one is the Utah tackle that's tackle
Fano.
two right now? Is that Fano? I'll say Fano.
He won't be there.
Spencer Fano.
Is
Okay.
Monroe Freeling gonna be there?
No.
Dang.
Um,
Who is there, man?
Yeah, literally. Who is it? Brendan Thompson. No, that's not my guess.
JP's like he will be there.
Sanders Oakley. I will be there. I wish that'd be kind of fun. I'm gonna go to a draft someday.
Do you guys need a hint?
I'll say
Let's go a couple more rounds, then we can get a hint. I mean, we're there's only so many.
Emmanuel Pregnon.
He won't be there.
Okay.
Okay.
You just got to rip one. You just got to think.
Yeah,
First player that comes to mind could go in the first round.
Well, now the name slipped out of my mind, so maybe that would have
Just
been
give me
a
the
bad
position.
guess.
I'll help you out. I really don't.
Colton Hood.
He will be there.
No, that's so tough.
7'6".
That is tough.
I'm glad I didn't pivot to my backup name when I was trying to search for the name I had been thinking of, because that would have been tough.
Yeah.
I figured there had to be another corner.
Caleb Banks.
No.
Okay.
Okay, now trying to circle back to the other name I was. Keldrick Falk.
Yes. 8'6".
No
I'm on
way.
the precipice.
Two
no
remaining.
way.
Come on.
Best
Keldrick
Sanders can do
Falk's
is
gonna
That's
be
your
there?
guy, too.
Keldrick Falk's gonna be there.
Yes. Best you can do is
He was not in the
tie.
first round mock draft that I was listening to this morning. That's crazy.
I have a tiebreaker if we get to a tie.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna get to a tiebreaker. I'm kind of running out of options that like.
I mean, surely we're about to name somebody that like is bold that they're showing up.
Yeah, are the last two names bold or is this one that we've missed? Or
One of
two-
them is like, yeah, that makes total sense.
Oh, how do we miss?
One of them
that
makes
guy?
one of them makes more sense than the other. The other one, I would actually argue he is the most likely of this list to not be drafted in the first round.
Interesting.
Cool.
Give me.
In fact, he won't be drafted in the first round today in the mock.
Okay. Who have we missed? Who?
But there's one guy that's like, yeah,
Dude, that was weird.
I want another edge rusher. I'm going to go if I can't think of the name. No, I don't want him. Give me the Missouri edge rusher who's
Zion Young.
That Zion Young.
No,
Okay.
I like that guess though.
Can I get Caden McDonald?
He will be there.
That's where I should have gone after Caleb Banks.
That is the guy.
What a
that
late heater.
I will not be in this
Yeah.
this mock today. 9-6. One
Yeah.
remaining.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's just go ahead.
Let's just collab and see if we
Okay,
can
okay.
think it
This
up.
is the one that we should be able to get.
Yeah, this guy makes sense.
I feel like we've exhausted all the
Well, I wonder if
skill
there's like
players.
another offensive lineman that's going to be
I'm
there.
pretty
That's who I'm
sure. I'm
thinking.
pretty sure he's been in every one of our mocks.
Every one of our mocks.
I'm thinking this offensive lineman. Is it
What other offensive lineman has been in every one of our mocks though?
not Freeling?
Because it's not Freeling, it's not Vega, it's obviously not Maui Noah, it's not Fano. What other offensive lineman has been in every one of our mocks? Unless I'm just blanking.
Okay, so it's probably not an offensive lineman.
Correct.
It's not a quarterback. It's not a skill position player. So it's defense, and it's not safety.
Is it just an edge then?
Or is it a linebacker? Is there another line? Oh, the Georgia guy that I had to go to. C.J. Allen. Is it C.J. Allen?
It's not C.J. Allen.
Is it just Avion Terrell?
It's not Avion
Okay.
Terrell.
I didn't think so because he just put up really bad combine numbers, or pro day numbers. Is it an edge rusher?
You guys were on the right track, and then you walked away from it.
So it is offensive lineman.
Correct.
What offensive lineman has been every mock that we're forgetting?
Not the other Utah guy.
His fun fact has to do with Jimmy John's.
He's a big Jimmy John's guy.
Huge Jimmy John's guy, apparently.
He just gets like a Jimmy John sandwich every day, basically.
No, that there's a story about him going to a Jimmy John's.
Oh, Caden Proctor.
Caden Proctor.
Duh. Yeah.
Oh.
There was one that we forgot.
Yep. That's tough.
Good work.
Good game.
Yeah, that was fun.
What a good start to the fun mock draft.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was
that
fun.
was fun. Now we can get into
The fun mock draft is just us guessing every pick.
Good luck on this first one. Well, we can go ahead and get started. This would be the fun mock. There are a couple trades in this mock because that's fun.
Sure.
And I gave zero insight to most of these picks. most
I like
of the
that.
insight will just be off the top of the dome. First overall pick is going to be Fernando Mendoza.
That's
Naturally.
Kind of no debate there.
No, That's fun. That's good. That's a good pick.
I am upset that he's not attending the draft.
I feel like we could have got a really good speech.
I
from him.
agree. It would have
Do the
been a
draft,
great.
They don't give speeches.
Like
We
a-
could
like an
interview.
interview.
Yeah, interview.
But
I was like,
for
they don't
him, it's a
give-
speech.
It,
Let's
that
be real.
is true. That is true.
I think that would have been really cool to see the city of Pittsburgh react to his character too. If that interview was shown on the screen, would be hilarious as well. But he will be in Miami with his family instead, and then he'll be off to Las Vegas. To 2, this is not a fun pick. I just have the Jets taking Arvo Reese. I think
Fair.
it makes the most sense. They need a ton. They just need a ton of help defensively. They're not going to be good this year, sadly, even with Geno Smith. We'll see if I convince myself they'll be good.
He's got a better
eventually.
O-line there than he did.
He does have a better offensive line. That is undebatable.
The weapons aren't really any better, but
Definitely not. Getting to 3, we have a trade. Would you guys like to guess who is trading up to the 3rd overall pick?
the Browns.
No, it's not. No way it's the Browns. Team that he's running back, Seahawks.
It's not the Seahawks. That would be an ungodly amount of draft capital. that
They
would
really
have to
want
give up.
Jeremiah Love.
That would be insane.
And they only have 4 picks in this year's draft.
The Chiefs.
It is not the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, well, I feel like we've exhausted any.
Commanders.
It's not the Washington Commanders.
Is it someone in the top 10? Even though we
No,
basically
it's
named all
not
them.
someone in
Okay,
the
so
top
someone
10.
further down.
I mean, it's not the Dolphins because whoever goes here is going.
The Cowboys are trading up. 100%.
No.
Dang. I mean, Jerry Wood. He'd say he needs a star on the defensive side
The
of the
Jets
ball.
are trading up to do what the Texans did a couple years ago and draft back-to-back 2nd and 3rd.
Funny enough, that's the reasoning I used for this trade, but it's not the right team.
So the
Raiders?
Raiders.
No.
The Titans.
No.
if they're moving up back to back though, that's
No, I'm not. Okay, I led you astray there. Not to pick back to back, but of a similar trade package and a similar trading up from
Okay.
spot.
okay. So we're
The Texans traded up a couple spots to get Will Anderson, I
They
believe.
traded up from the 13th overall pick.
Oh.
They traded 10 spots up.
The Rams, they're 13th.
Correct.
We
did it.
Let's go. It's too easy.
Yeah. So the Rams.
JP can't fool us, man. I mean,
Yeah, we saw right through
The
that.
Rams trade up to 3. They also get pick 104 from the Cardinals. And then the Cardinals get 13, 61, a 2027 first, and a 2027 second round pick. The Rams feel like this would be a team that would, they don't use their first overall pick. So
Sure.
why not go and try to get a difference maker? You're as high as you feel like you're going to be because of the Atlanta Falcons pick and the Atlanta Falcons mishaps. And so I have them trading up to number 3 overall and selecting a true difference maker that can hopefully get them over the hump in Jeremiah Love.
that would be
All right.
wild.
That's a fun pick.
That's
That's
a fun
That's
pick.
a very
would
fun
be,
pick.
You get Matty Stafford, Puka, Jeremiah Love,
Well,
Devontae Adams.
Puka.
So just think of Jeremiah Love in that Rams blue with that Rams helmet is really tantalizing. And to think of him with Matthew Stafford and everything would be absolutely electric. Now, Kyrie Williams is an excellent back, but Jeremiah Love is a true difference maker. I do think they have defensive pieces in order. And you're going for a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and no different than what you did in 2021. You don't need this draft capital next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a late first and a late second. It's not elite value. or anything.
Ideally, it will be. So you already did this in trading for Trent McDuffie, your other first-round pick. Now they trade up and they select Jeremiah Love at number 3 overall.
So they are mortgaging their future for another Super Bowl.
Yeah. And
I
I
like
think
it.
this would make them really dangerous. You get that much better offensively. A lot of people want them to be like wide receiver at 14. I think this is just infinitely more of like a guaranteed difference maker.
Sure.
And Jeremiah Love can
Yeah.
be a receiver for them too.
I think if this was another wide receiver class, wide receiver would make so much
Sure.
sense. Like I wouldn't even like trading up to get like a Marvin Harrison Jr., which hindsight 2020, he doesn't look like the best wide receiver out of that class. But to
Max
get a Marvin
Boxnar.
Harrison Jr. or who would it have been the year before that?
Malik.
Yeah,
No,
no, Malik
Malik
Neighbors
was
was
the
in
same,
that class.
yeah.
But the year like the Jamar Chase year, the Jalen Waddle year, like I think another wide receiver class, wide receiver would make sense. But I don't think Carnell Tate makes as much sense as Jeremiah Love does. I think Love moves the needle more.
He does. I do too. I do think that too. I think he moves the needle a ton. I think him with Sean McVay in that offense where he can move around is just dangerous.
And as a firm believer that run game is determined more by offensive line than running back, that's a beautiful run game because they already have the offensive line.
Yeah.
And you put the difference maker behind that, and now he's averaging 3 to 4 yards before contact as opposed to -1 yards.
This also felt like the spot the Rams would have to trade up for Jeremiah Love because I do think the Titans are going to take him at 4 if he's there at 4. Unless they've just enamored with Arvo Reese or David Bailey, who happened to fall there at 4. So that is the reasoning for them to trading up to 3. It also is almost an identical trade package to what the Texans traded to trade up and select Will Anderson. Cardinals, in a very similar spot that year, ended up selecting Paris Johnson Jr., their left tackle, the future. We'll see what they do potentially in the offensive line when they come up at 13. But at pick number 4, I have the Titans going with, in my opinion, a plan B because they couldn't get Jeremiah Love in David Bailey, an edge rusher to pair with Jeffrey Simmons.
Not a bad plan B.
Jeffrey Simmons led the team in sacks last year with 11, but the next closest on the team had just 4 sacks. And Robert Saleh dealt with a defense last year with the San Francisco 49ers that had the least sacks in the NFL, just 20 the entire season. So a very tough season. They dealt with injuries, but the Titans have had a bad offensive line outside of Jeffrey Simmons for a long time. Time to change that, and they can kind of change that immediately with David Bailey. He is the most pro-ready pass rusher. That leads us to number 5 overall, and I have the Giants selecting Sonny Styles out of Ohio State. I think the wide receiver, for me, I'm not a big fan of because I think they spent too much on wide receiver in the offseason. They signed Calvin Austin, Darnell Mooney. They re-signed Isaiah Hodgins, Gunnar Olszewski. They also signed Isaiah Likely, a receiving tight end. So, Carnell Tate doesn't make a ton of sense. I do like the people that continue to, put Caleb Downs here at 5. But as much as, they use the Kyle Hamilton analogy for that, I do think their organizations are going to have standards, and safeties don't get picked that high. And I don't think a small safety is going to get picked that high either. As much as Caleb Downs has kind of been prospect fatigue,
Sure.
because he's been good since he was a true freshman. I don't think that's gonna keep him from falling outside of the top 5. Sonny Styles is a former safety as well, so maybe he could play safety in the NFL. He's not. He's gonna play green dot more than likely, but he'll probably play alongside Tremaine Edmonds. 4.46 the combine and a 43.5-inch vertical, both for the top among linebackers. This dude's a freak.
Yeah.
That leads us to 6, and this is a pick that I'm not sure I've seen in a single mock draft.
Hold up.
And I was going to ask you guys to guess.
Excellent. It's not offensive line unless he does something like Emmanuel Pregnon
Yeah.
at 6 overall. So it's not offensive line because we've seen, I believe, he didn't say any of our drafts. He said any mock draft.
You're just going to go Caleb Downs here.
Yeah, probably.
Is it Caleb Downs?
It's not Caleb
Okay.
Downs.
Uh,
I'll give you a second guess, and then I'm going to say it.
It's not. Do we think that it's Mansour Delane to go with Denzel Ward? because I can't see it being Ruben Bain. There's no way they go Ruben Bain at 6.
I don't
It
think
would
it's-
be cool.
I
That
don't-
would be fun.
Yeah,
It
but
would be
I don't
fun.
think it's that. I don't think it can be any of the offensive linemen because
I think-
the only
and-
two that could possibly go here have already been mocked here many times.
Yeah,
Is it like
and
a
it
wide
can't-
receiver wild card where they just like don't take
like
Tate?
Jordan Tyson. Except I've done Jordan Tyson here.
You have?
Yes.
Okay, then I lied.
Okay.
It's
I
Jordan
believe
Tyson.
I believe I did Jordan Tyson here like in the fall.
Okay.
So, and you may not even seen that draft. I can't remember if I talked about it on the show.
Well, I was more so referencing mock drafts of the last 2 months.
That's fair,
And
that's fair.
I don't think I've seen this in the last 2 months. Yeah, I do have them going with Jordan Tyson. So he will go to the same city that his brother plays for, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and
Yeah.
now the Cleveland Browns. Jalen Tyson and Jordan Tyson.
Hey, that's fun.
That is fun. The pick itself is also pretty fun. Shador needs help at wide receiver. Jordan Tyson can give them an element that their other receivers can't. He can be a physical.
Which is being good.
He can catch balls, catch most of the balls.
Yeah.
They had one of the worst drop rates in the league last year. In fact, Jerry Jeudy was second in the league in drops, and he's their best receiver. They had just 4 receiving touchdowns from wide receivers last year, and Tyson is a wide receiver who had 8 touchdowns last year in just 10 games played. So this guy's a freak. I do think they'd take the risk on the. In this case, they're fine with taking the risk on the health. I think Jordan Tyson is going to be a sneaky pick over Carnell Tate for someone because I think someone's going to get enamored with the playmaking ability and just forget the injuries and hope that they can solve that in-house.
And the Browns would be a team to potentially do that.
Absolutely. That leads us to the 7th overall pick in the Washington Commanders. I have them selecting Caleb Downs. While I wanted to go fun, and there were other fun picks available, like Carnell Tate,
We can't afford to go fun.
that's exactly my reasoning. That I continue to look through my team needs, and I have the Commanders' defensive needs taking up my entire screen, and that's a problem. Now they spend a lot of money in a lot of places. They give Odafe Owe the 4-year, $100 million contract, so it's hard for them to, I think, take Ruben Bain. They added 2 corners in free agency, Amik Robinson and Nick Cross. Neither are like crazy good, but they're both 2 years, $14 million, so it's hard for me to go Mansour Delane. The biggest stat that I bring up with them is second most missed tackles in the NFL last year, 131. So I had them going with Caleb Downs. He is great as a tackler, led Alabama as a freshman in tackles. So he goes 7th overall. And now I have the New Orleans Saints at 8. Ty Simpson, quarterback, Alabama. No, I have them going with Ruben Bain Jr. And this is a pick that I'm actually warming up to
Okay.
more and more as we get closer to the draft. And maybe that is just more so because I continue to see all the guys that I really want being drafted already, like a Caleb Downs, like a David Bailey.
Yep.
Of course, like an Arvo Reese, a Sonny Styles, even. I do like the possibility of Mansour Delane, but I'm going to go with Ruben Bain to try and pair with Chase Young. That leads us to the number 9 overall pick, and shout out 9.
Yep. Shout out
J.J.
9.
McCarthy. This is a pick that I'm not sure I've seen in a mock draft. Would you guys like to give a guess here for the 9th overall pick for the Kansas City Chiefs?
I feel like tackle has been mocked to them because of Mahomes' injury and trying to keep him upright.
I really don't know, to be honest.
What's traditionally mocked to them? It's wide receiver. That's pretty normal.
We saw some tackles earlier on in the cycle, but that's kind of faded away. Is it maybe just like Mansour Delane?
Maybe.
Though I kind of feel like
It's
I mean, that feel like that almost makes too much sense.
I mean, I'm down to say Mansour Delane.
Mansour Delane.
It's not Mansour
Okay.
Delane. I have the Kansas City Chiefs selecting a player that is along the terms of a player that was previously mocked to the Kansas City Chiefs that strikes a lot of fear in NFL fans. Jeremiah Love was, for a lot of the time, like, this is the guy who's going here at 9, and that's a huge fear. I had them going with Kenyon Sadiq, tight end out of Oregon. Yes, I know they signed Travis Kelce to the big deal, but Sadiq has the ability to just play wide receiver straight up. He can also be a very big volume threat, and the Chiefs are going to need that. I'm not sure Rashee Rice is playing next year. Right now, they only have 4 receivers under contract. They're going to go receiver, I think, at a later point, regardless. But I think of Kenny Sadiq. I think of his highlight reel at Oregon, and then put him in a Chiefs uniform. That's scary.
Sure.
That is exceptionally scary. And I think this would be a fun pick, a shocking pick for sure. I think there'd be a lot of murmurs across households, across draft rooms in the NFL, across the organizations.
Does Taylor Swift subtweet the Kansas City Chiefs organization?
She requests a trade.
No.
Okay.
I don't think she would. I think they'd be fine with this. I think Kelce would be fine with this. He could use it as
He'd be like, I could actually retire now without feeling bad.
This is my understudy. He could ride off into the sunset if he wanted to. But I continue to come back to this Chiefs pick and saying, like, in the franchise eyes, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to draft a top 10 talent wide receiver. And I do think Sadiq has the ability to just be that as a tight end regardless. That leads us to the 10th overall pick. And at 10, I have the Bengals selecting Mansour Delane.
Okay.
Cornerback LSU.
Okay.
They have a ton of needs, specifically defensively. I do think they need help in the DB room. Safety is probably more of a need than it is cornerback, but they had 14 touchdowns that were allowed by corners last season. That was one of the worst in the NFL. They also allowed the league worst yards per play, a ton of passes over the top allowed, and 37 missed tackles by cornerbacks last season, which is not good. Usually when your quarterback is making tackles, they're on an island, and that usually ends up meaning more yards after the play.
Yeah.
Delane has the ability to be a shutdown corner, but he's also a playmaker, 8 career interceptions, and he ran a 4.34. He's super, super fast. So he can fly around the field and potentially catch up to Lamar Jackson, but also all the receivers that are going to be in that conference, like Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers, DK Metcalf. I think he can be a good matchup for all of those guys with his speed.
What a crop of...
You know what that is?
What?
That's a fun pick.
It is a fun pick.
That is a fun pick.
I agree. That leads us to the Miami Dolphins. And for the Miami Dolphins at 11...
Are they doing cartwheels up to the stage with the spot they're in?
Why do you say that?
Well, just like they really need a wide receiver.
Yeah, they have to be going
And Cardinal Tate's still there at 11.
They are going with Cardinal Tate?
Yeah.
This is where JP goes Denzel Boston at 10 overall. Or 11 overall. Excuse me.
I have them going Cardinal Tate, and I think that's really fun. I think it would be really interesting to see like an Ohio State receiver with that team and Malik Willis, and to see how that would play out. Pretty much every Ohio State receiver has been a hit. And so for the Miami Dolphins to lose Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle just like that, and then be able to add potentially a hit, and Cardinal Tate is going to be pretty cool. The only non-hit so far has been Marvin Harrison, which is shocking because he was the highest picked. Maybe that is a scary situation for Jeremiah Smith.
I don't even think the jury's still out. He's, 21 years old?
Yeah, his career is not over.
Not by any means.
It's been very disappointing up to this point.
That's
Maybe
crazy.
it was Kyler Murray
You're out on Marvin Harrison Jr., but you're all in on Matthew Golden.
Yeah, Matthew Golden's played 1 year.
Marvin Harrison's played 2?
Hey, I mean, time flies in the NFL.
Like you said with Herbert, third time's the charm. So
True.
Golden's still got 2 years left.
Also, we're going to have who throwing? Is Ty Simpson potentially going to be spinning the rock to Marvin Harrison?
Hey, that would be fun. We'll find out.
We will find out. Ty Simpson is in this mock. I can promise you that. That leads us to the 12th overall pick, and I have the Cowboys selecting Gerard McCoy.
Sure.
Post his pro day, pretty much every single scout and people that were talking with executives said that McCoy's like going to be in a straight up battle for cornerback 1 and a surefire top 12 overall pick. They really liked how he looked. They felt like his health was really good. He did all the drills. He had a pretty good pro day. Let me see if I can find his 40 time. His 40 time was a 4.38. But there were also some scouts that had a 4.35.
Sure.
So whatever, it doesn't matter because if the Cowboys had it at a 4.28, he was that fast. My fun fact for Gerard McCoy, because he's a new player that has a fun fact that I haven't said yet. He attended the same high school as Patrick Mahomes in White House, Texas.
That's cool.
And when McCoy said that he was entering the NFL draft, Mahomes shouted him out. He really likes him. They have a little personal connection there between the two.
That is cool.
But he will be a Cowboy rather than as Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs passed on him, so he's going to hate Mahomes forever, sadly. Just like all of us, though.
Yeah.
That leads us to the Cardinals, who, again, traded back from 3 to 13.
Well, they're also doing a little dance.
About to say they're going to get
This
at
is
13.
an ideal situation.
They're going to get at 13 the guy who they probably should take at 3.
They could get any offensive tackle that they wanted here, too.
True.
No offensive lineman has been picked yet, and that will change right now, and that'll change very quickly. Francis Mauigoa goes to 13 for the Arizona Cardinals, 10 picks later than most mocks have him. We're bold over here at Technical Foul. Mauigoa,
Not bold. Fun. We're fun over
We
here
are
at
fun
Both
here.
can be true.
True.
I agree. Bold can be fun. Again, I'm going to bring this up now that every time we talk about Mauigoa because it's so cool. Where is his fun fact? Raised in a coastal village of Hawaii with roughly 3,000 people. And he, at the Combine, said, there are 5 positions. I will make sure I take one of them, and it would be cool if I stay at tackle. So he's fine playing anywhere. He's probably going to play right tackle for the Arizona Cardinals, and that works, and that's fun. And that leads us to 14, who is another offensive lineman. The Baltimore Ravens select Spencer Fano, offensive guard out of Utah. I will predict that they say offensive guard in the announcement of this pick. They need offensive line help. I really like potentially receiver. Mekhi Lemon makes a ton of sense, but I've had always the feeling with the Ravens, Mekhi Lemon, that it just doesn't make sense to add another Zay Flowers.
Sure.
A guy who's small and is just a kind of a volume guy. You need receiver help, but I do think you can find receiver help later in the draft. That leads us to 15. And with the 15th overall pick, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting a 26-year-old Akeem Mesidor,
Sure.
edge rusher out of Miami.
Feels like a pick we've been seeing a lot recently, and I think there's a good reason we're seeing a lot. I completely agree with it. So
Yeah,
Fits right in that Super Bowl window.
he definitely fits in the Super Bowl window. Feels like maybe 1 to 2 years left with Baker Mayfield, which is sad because there's no not fun Baker Mayfield game. Speaking of fun, last year the Bucs' leading sacker had just 7 sacks. Mesidor can be an immediate sacker of the quarterback, sacking the elite quarterbacks in
I'd
the
hope so.
NFC South. Of course, Bryce Young, Tyler Shuck, and whoever the Falcons tried out there. Apparently, it's going to be Tua, and that's just going to be lit. I can't wait for that. I am going to buy Falcons season tickets. That was up in the air.
Gotcha.
After the Tua signing. That was genuinely up in the air. The Falcons fans, my friends, did not want to buy the tickets after the Tua signing.
How have they responded to McGarry retiring and then replacing him with Juwan Taylor? Does that scare them?
I need to ask them about that.
Because,
I don't think I got their thoughts on that.
If Tua's rolling out there, he's pretty injury prone. You'd like to protect him. I'd argue that's a bit of a downgrade. I mean, obviously, McGarry was hurt for all of last year, right? So we didn't really see him last year. But
I'm sure they would be scared of that. I need to ask them about that to see what their thoughts on that. At 16, I have the New York Jets selecting Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver out of USC.
Love it.
I think this is his floor. I do think he will be drafted higher than this. But if this would be his floor at 16. Again, volume guy, not a big yak guy. He's essentially Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he would like to think he would be Amon-Ra St. Brown one day. In fact, he said at the Combine, the receiver he models his game after is Amon-Ra St. Brown. The type of grit that he plays with, the way he can have a positive impact on the team without the ball in his hands. And he's nearly the exact same size as Amon-Ra. 5'11", 1/8 inch, 192 pounds, slot receiver. He had 11 receiving touchdowns last year, 2 rushing, and 1 passing touchdown. Which would you guys like to guess his passer rating last year in college football?
133.
Way higher than that.
150.
Way higher than that.
How high does pass rating go?
This is what his passer rating was scored as. I don't know how high it goes.
About 155.
It may
was
go
the peak.
infinitely.
So apparently, yeah. 180.
That's NFL QBR that I think is 150 something,
Yes.
which is
Or
Yeah,
NFL
yeah.
passer rating. I don't know.
they're
210.
No. We're not even.
613.
It was 631.
What?
631.6. He was
There's
one.
no way.
So they're drafting him at quarterback.
That's
then, right?
what was on
they're saying?
ESPN at least.
That's what they're saying.
They should. They need quarterback. He could
I mean,
be
this
the
is-
quarterback.
Let me
This
go
is a-
check his PFF passing grade. That's what I need to
Geno
know.
Smith is very happy with this pick.
Yeah, he was 1 for 1 for 22 yards and a touchdown last year as a quarterback. So that's why he has a, per ESPN, 631 passer rating. So maybe the future of Jets quarterback post Geno Smith has been drafted here at 16.
Yeah.
Sanders pulling up his PFF passer rating. I'm very curious to see what that is.
It's gonna take me a sec because I gotta figure out how to log in because I got logged out.
Bye.
So
Just keep it rolling. Just keep it rolling.
Then we go to 17, and at 17, I do think this is the floor of Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle, Georgia. I think the Lions in need of a left tackle desperately, with Taylor Decker requesting to be released and then being released by the team. Penei Sewell, they apparently Dan Campbell, he said at one of the meetings, it was either the Combine or like the owners' meetings, that they talked with Penei Sewell about moving him from right to left, and Penei was very hesitant about that. And that makes sense. Penei's played right tackle for 3 straight years, and so moving over to left tackle can be kind of foreign. It's like playing an entire new position. I mean, imagine flipping everything that you do. It's the complete opposite. I think I completely understand that. So left tackle feels like a need for the Lions. And as I will bring up with the Lions every time an offensive lineman is brought up with them, Jared Goff was hit the most of any quarterback last year, 76 times. So they need to protect him and keep him upright to keep that offense flowing.
While I think Monroe Freeling ends up going higher than this, he does feel very Detroit Lions. Like,
Yes.
it seems like the right fit for him and the right fit for them. So
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree. That leads us to 18, and this is the least fun pick of the entire mock draft.
yeah,
Dylan Thieneman, safety, Oregon. This is like at a 90. I wonder, can you click on him and see what the most mocked to is right there? It should pull up if you just click on his name.
It's under trends.
28%. That's
Yep,
yeah.
Vikings.
That's probably one of the highest outside of Fernando Mendoza.
sure.
In the entire mock draft simulator
Highest
world.
outside top
I
10,
could
for sure.
make him a fun pick, not from Minnesota, but I was thinking we actually just missed who could have. The Jets could have made him a fun pick if they go downs at 2 and Thieneman at 15 or 16.
Yeah, double up with safeties.
That
both
would be fun.
guys Could play the box. They could play all 11 positions really
Yeah.
for him.
That would be fun.
Maybe outside of defensive tackle. So maybe 9 positions. But Dylan Thieneman is probably the least fun pick. 28% of mock drafters on PFF are drafting him to the Minnesota Vikings. That leads us to 19, and this is a much more fun pick. Who do you guys think the Panthers go for here
Omar Cooper.
at 19? No.
Is it on the defensive side of the ball?
No.
Is it the tight end Eli Stowers?
Ty Simpson.
It's neither of those.
It's not Stowers.
So it's just another wide receiver then.
It is.
But it's not Omar
is it
Cooper.
Denzel Boston?
no.
It's KC then.
It's KC
Yeah.
Concepcion, wide receiver
Reach.
out
You're
of
such a
Texas
hater,
A&M. This would be the third straight year that the Panthers have selected a wide receiver in the first round. Xavier Legette, Tetaroa McMillan, and now KC Concepcion. They will have 1.5 hits there. Xavier Legette, bust. Tet McMillan's a hit. I think KC would be mid for the Carolina Panthers.
At 19, yeah, I'd say half a hit is probably accurate.
This would be the Panthers have made it adamant, apparently in their league meetings, that they want to add a playmaker to help Bryce Young.
Well, he does need the help, so.
Yeah, I mean, he does need the help. This is true. He's being carried along at this point. There's so many stats I could bring up for Bryce Young, but the one I think that hurts the most is the longest catch last year by a wide receiver was 43 yards. That was to Tetaroa McMillan, which was on a 4th and 7 for a touchdown, I believe, against the Rams, if I'm not mistaken. KC is a very good vertical threat, and he had, I assume, multiple catches over 43 yards last year for the Aggies.
Yeah.
One against Missouri.
He had one against Missouri. He had the one.
One against State. How was that, like 45 yards?
It was close. And they had the one long one to like the 2-yard line against Notre Dame as well, where he went up and got it. And then I'm sure he had another one or two against, like when we played Utah State or something. He went and caught a go ball. So, yeah.
Yeah, immediately becomes a vertical threat for the Carolina Panthers that could not shut the ball vertically because they're Bryce Young quarterback. That leads us to 20, and at 20 I have the Dallas Cowboys selecting C.J. Allen, linebacker out of Georgia. I do think as we get closer and closer to the draft that the Cowboys are going to throw us for a loop and select an offensive player. And that will be complete drama. I'm all here for it.
Sure.
With the George Pickens contract situation, like it could be a wide receiver. Have franchise tagged him, but he doesn't want to sign the franchise tag because he wants commitment of a long-term deal. If he doesn't sign the franchise tag, he doesn't play for the team this year. So they're in kind of like a standstill right now. And so maybe they just go ahead and solve that by selecting a wide receiver at 12 or 20. They were in a similar spot before in a year where like they needed defense. They had a great wide receiver already in Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm. And Michael Gallup.
And Michael Gallup, and they selected CeeDee Lamb. But CeeDee was like a prospect that had fallen a ton.
Yep.
And so maybe that's in a spot where like Cardinal Tate has fallen a ton. Jordan Tyson has fallen a ton. So they've done this before. There's nothing predictable with Jerry Jones.
True.
But I have them go with C.J. Allen here.
I just want to say, prime Michael Gallup was one of the best wide receiver twos in the NFL at that time.
He was a great player.
He was a very good wide receiver too. He is my me and Andrew were talking like this was like a year ago, but we were just like, who was that wide receiver on the Cowboys? And it was like we were just like it was like in the late 2010s, and he was like really really good as a wide receiver too.
T.Y. Hilton.
No, it was not. It was not. It was Michael Gallup, and we were like, that's crazy that he just kind of. I think he got hurt. Maybe
Cole Beasley.
Yeah, Cole Beasley. What a throwback. But also on that, you have them going linebacker, and it just made me think. Last week for fun, I went back and rewatched the 2017 NFL Draft, just for like, it wasn't beginning to end. I watched like it was like an hour long version, so it'd been trimmed down a little bit. But the context of like them being like, wow, that's a really crazy pick because they've got this guy on the roster, and now I know that guy turned out to be a bust. The Cowboys in 2017 were up at 28 with Reuben Foster, who was a really good linebacker out of Alabama at the time, and a couple other guys, linebackers, and the analysts were like, well, they can't go linebacker because they've got Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith still on the roster. And now we know that neither of those guys worked out long term. So anyway, that's just like a fun little tidbit.
Vander Esch would have worked, but he kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
C.J. Allen, I just finished his player profile today. His fun fact is Kirby Smart, following the 65-7 national championship win over TCU, praised 2 players on the scout team. One of those players was CJ. CJ had graduated from high school 24 days prior to the Natty. The day after high school, he's on the campus in Athens for the Georgia Bulldogs and is on the scout team for the next 3 weeks. And Kirby Smart said CJ did a unbelievable job in terms of impersonating the TCU linebacking core as
Wow.
an 18-year-old freshly out of high school.
Might have been 17.
No, he was 18.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure he was just past 18. But 6'1", 230. He started games as a freshman for Georgia. Reliable captain and a downhill run stopper. The Cowboys could need that because they lost that Micah Parsons last year. That leads us to 21. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21, I have them selecting Oliava Vega Ioane out of Penn State. Guard, of course, they did lose Isaac Seumalo, much to my dismay. So they have a true need at offensive guard.
That's
and
your second guard off the board?
That's our second guard off the board,
That's
following
fun.
Spencer Fano.
That's very fun.
Yeah.
You wouldn't.
Not what you normally see.
Not a
Yeah.
lot of people have Vega Ioane as the second guard off the board.
This is very true. He will be on this draft night. I think he's a great fit for the Steelers because they were a really good offensive line last year when it came to a pass perspective. Vega is a really good run-blocking offensive guard, and I think he can immediately make an instant impact. And they add Rico Dowdle. If they bring back Aaron Rodgers, I think that running game could be much better than was last year. Last year just was not good enough, and it forced Rodgers to play quick game the entire season. He got away with it because he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
But it eventually ran its course when the big bad Houston Texans came to town, and the fourth quarter started, and they lost the fourth quarter 23-0. It was 7-6 going to the fourth quarter. I
Crazy.
can't believe, man. I can't believe it turned that quickly. That leads us to the Los Angeles Chargers. And Sanders, I'll let you guess who you're picking here.
I mean, I would actually really like Keldrick Falk here. I don't think we've got a great interior presence, and we let Poona Ford, I believe was his name. We drafted him, and then he walked and went to the Rams, and he's been good there. And we've got Khalil Mack on the edge, but I like Keldrick Falk a lot. I know Jack is very low on him. I don't think he's an elite edge rusher, but I think he's a good football player, and I think he's big. And maybe he gets bigger and becomes a true interior defensive lineman and just kind of gives up the edge label that he currently has, that he had at Auburn. Excuse me.
You better.
But I wouldn't hate Keldrick Falk. From what I've heard, Emmanuel McNeil Warren is sliding down boards and will be outside of the first round. So that's kind of where I am. But
New Orleans Saint, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, hopefully then.
maybe. But
That'd be cool.
where do you have them going? What's your fun pick for the day?
It's actually a player you forgot about earlier today, so you've now forgot about him twice today.
Welcome in, Caden Proctor.
Caden Proctor.
Okay. I don't hate that at all.
Offensive guard, Alabama. I think they, with everything that occurred last year, yes, you have tackles solidified, but you just lost both tackles in the blink of an eye for an entire season, essentially. So what if that happens again? What if one of these guys is now injury prone? Caden Proctor can play offensive tackle for you, but he also can play offensive guard. He's a very, very talented kid, and this guy has been a 5-star since high school. Was a 5-star throughout college, including the one time he was in the portal post Nick Saban retiring. I have him going 22 to the Chargers. I'm sorry if that's not fun for you.
No, that's fun. Winning's fun.
He also
And
could,
getting
you know,
offensive line is part of winning.
Fills a bit of a need at wide receiver, too, with the way
That
Alabama
is true.
deployed him.
That is true.
This is also true.
So there you go. There's some fun for you.
The Philadelphia Eagles, I have them selecting the guy who's apparently not a first-round pick anymore, and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. I think he immediately fits.
Yeah.
Or fills, I should say, a need in Reed Blankenship, who left. Now you need someone to pair with Andrew Makuba at safety. Makuba's a smaller guy out of Texas. McNeil-Warren is a bigger guy, 6'2.5". He's very rangy, very long. In the draft circles, at least, when you're talking about like these top 50, 100 prospects, he's probably second to Jacob Rodriguez when it comes to natural ability to force turnovers.
Yeah.
He had 3 forced fumbles last year and 2 interceptions for Toledo. He had 8 forced fumbles across his 4 years playing college at Toledo. He ran a 4.52 at the combine. This is a guy who can also play in the box. He's very versatile in that sense. He played 61% of his snaps last year in the box for the Toledo Rockets. I have him going to the Philadelphia Eagles, which is not far from Toledo, Ohio.
And he reunites with former teammate Quinyon Mitchell.
Yes.
Assuming, I'm not positive McNeil-Warren didn't transfer in. But
No, he played for Toledo all 4 years.
Then, Mitchell was drafted in 24, so they should have
They definitely
overlapped.
cross paths. No way they did. That's fun. Former teammates.
That's very fun.
You don't
That's
beat
as
that.
fun as it gets.
My opinion, the most fun so far has been Jordan Tyson getting to play in the same city as brother. For
Agreed.
now.
That's fair. Very
Well,
fair.
Jalen
I mean,
Tyson.
brothers trumps teammates. So,
Agreed.
but some would argue their teammates are their brothers. So,
That leads us to the 24th overall pick. And with the 24th overall pick, I have the Cleveland Browns selecting Max Ahinisher.
yep.
This is a guy who has only played football for roughly 3 or 4 years. He played right tackle for Arizona State. But he has the size and the capability to move over to left tackle. And a lot of mocks want to mock Monroe Freeling to number 6 overall. But I had them selecting Jordan Tyson. They need to go offensive line later. I think you get the next best option in terms of a left tackle. I think Caden Proctor's got the ability to play there. But I think Max Uhinicher, at this point, is the best left tackle available, and I have them going with left tackle and Max Uhinicher at 24. That leads us to 25. And at 25, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Peter Woods, defensive tackle out of Clemson. I do think, there's something to this guy was so highly rated at the beginning of the year, and just because he had a bad season doesn't mean he's bad. Now, there is a flip side to that coin. K. Klubnik was very high prior to this year. He's fallen off a cliff. In fact, he was mocked to the Cleveland Browns, #1 overall.
Crazy.
At one point, way pre the college football season. I don't think that's the case with Peter Woods because he's not the quarterback of the team, and he's definitely not the head coach, Dabo Swinney. He didn't have a productive year, but I think all the talent's there, and the defensive interior need is there for the Chicago Bears. So I have him 25 to the Bears.
I'm fine with that. Maybe not one of the fun picks of the draft, but it's a good fit.
I agree. That leads us to, I think, in my opinion, a fun pick at 26. Any guesses on who this fun pick is?
Omar Cooper.
Incorrect.
Is this Denzel Boston?
It is Denzel Boston.
Bang.
The Bills have kind of made it adamant in talks with the media that they don't think they're done post DJ Moore in terms of adding wide receiver.
Sure.
And in fact, they may even prioritize using that first-round pick on a wide receiver. And I think they do here. I think Denzel Boston gives them something that DJ Moore doesn't. DJ Moore, a great vertical threat. Denzel Boston can be a great vertical threat in terms of just jumping up in the air.
He's what Keon Coleman was supposed to do.
Correct. He can be a 50-50 guy. He can be Josh Allen's go-to target in the red zone. Would you guys like to guess? You got 2 things to pick from. You can either guess Denzel Boston's favorite movie or his dream job.
Men in Black, favorite movie.
I'm gonna go remember the Titans' favorite movie.
Neither are correct.
Dang.
Can we get a genre?
Sci-fi, I guess.
Can we get a decade?
Sci-fi.
This
yes.
movie was released between 2008 and 2014.
Sci-fi.
It is a classic.
A classic sci-fi movie.
Cars 2.
No, it's not animated.
Okay,
Oh.
not animated. Classic sci-fi.
From
Interstellar.
No.
Okay, I mean Interstellar came out later,
I don't
but I'll just
see.
assume
I don't
you
know if
got
this is
the-
classified as a sci-fi. That's the thing.
I don't think we're gonna get it.
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, Transformers.
Transformers.
Okay.
Is that a sci-fi?
I just say action, honestly.
Yeah,
No,
I
there
would-
maybe
I would
are
call
some
that an action.
sci-fi
Okay.
Because
elements.
I feel like sci-fi is typically more
I mean,
outer
there's like,
space.
but isn't there's?
Well,
aren't
they come
I
from
guess
outer
yeah, they do
space.
come from. I think it might.
I
That's a great question.
I'm gonna look it up
Can-
and see
yeah,
what
can we look
the
it up on
genre
Google?
is like given it on IMDb or
Yeah.
something.
But that is Denzel Boston's favorite movie.
That's a good movie.
He said, "I've always loved Optimus Prime, his leadership and bravery. I love to watch them transform."
Okay.
That's the quote.
No Megan
Not-
Fox.
I'm about to
mention
say
is
nothing
interesting.
about Megan Fox is kind of
No,
crazy.
nothing about that.
Live
Um,
action science fiction action film.
Okay, so we were
Okay.
both correct.
Yeah.
Just had to combine the two. Denzel 6'4", 212 with a 35-inch vertical, 14.2 yards per catch, and 20 receiving touchdowns over the last 2 seasons for the Washington Huskies. He now flies across the country to Buffalo to play for the Buffalo Bills. Now in cold weather instead of just rainy weather, cold and snowy. Although I'm curious to see how snow will affect this new stadium this coming year, because they are in the new stadium. Denzel Boston is a fun addition to that
For sure.
Bills front. Now at 27,
Transformers is a fun movie.
it's one of my favorites.
I've never seen it.
It's
so.
top
Really?
5 favorite for me.
Yeah,
It's
never seen
it
it.
is a really fun movie. Like not even like the meme of this being the fun mock draft.
You like
it's
to
actually
watch
a fun
them
movie.
transform?
I do think the CGI for like that era
It's
is
pretty
really
good. Yeah.
really damn
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I would say for this era, like
Yeah.
It's aged well.
it's aged really
has.
well. Same with Pirates of the Caribbean is
Yeah.
going right now. People talking about, and we're getting very off track here, but this is what we do. Like they talk about the which one is it? The octopus one.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
what
I
is-
don't remember
he-
his name.
Yeah, it's what is his name?
Is that not just Davy Jones?
Yes, thank you. That's Davy Jones.
Gotcha.
They talk about like how well his CGI has aged, and it's because they had to put in effort back then.
Well, yeah, wasn't
There-
a lot of it makeup, and then they
I
CGI'd on
believe
top.
it was.
I
believe
think
it
a lot of it was
I think
CGI. I think
it's
he
primarily
was just
CGI.
doing like the dot thing.
Yeah, but they had to actually put in effort. There were no shortcuts back then, and so that's why it's aged so well. Is because now there's so many shortcuts and tricks and stuff to, like get stuff done quickly and cheaply that like it doesn't look as good because you're not trying as hard. And I think that's one of the reasons Transformers like doesn't look like a 2010-ish
Such a good movie.
animated movie, CGI movie.
It's also just like it's such a hilarious movie.
yeah.
Shia LaBeouf is like a perfect main character for that movie, because he can banter with his parents. He can have the chemistry with Megan Fox. He can banter
Sure.
with the Optimus Prime, and the U.S. government as well. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
naturally.
That leads us to 27, and at 27 we have the second of 3 trades in this mock.
Oh,
Any guesses on who
The Cardinals back.
is trading up? The Cardinals are not trading up.
is it a team for Ty Simpson?
It has a team that is drafted so far already,
The Jets.
and it's not for Ty
It's
Simpson.
not for Ty
Not
Simpson.
for Ty
It's
Simpson.
not the Jets.
Okay, let's
So-
think then. Who do you think they're coming up for?
I feel like it's Omar Cooper because I feel like
Okay.
he's the.
I honestly disagree. I don't know who else you're really trading up for.
Yeah, I feel like wide receiver
Unless
is.
he's going really fun, and this is Garrett Nussmeyer. It's
Taylor
your
Green.
boy Taylor Green.
I mean,
So that means if they're trading for Omar Cooper, it's probably someone near the top of the second round still.
yeah,
Like you're not trading a
and
full
they
round
need
up
wide
probably for
receiver.
Omar
Who's a
Cooper.
team that needs wide receiver that didn't draft wide receiver?
Is it like the Titans? Are they back?
I'm
It's
trying
not
to think.
for Omar
The
Cooper's
Browns
name.
went
It's not for
wide
Omar
receiver.
It's not for
oh,
Omar
it's not for
Cooper.
Omar Cooper. Is it for Blake Miller?
No,
Cassius Howe?
no,
Keldrick. Ooh, is it Colton Hood?
no.
Interesting. I don't know. You should just
It's for Avion Terrell,
okay.
and it's the reasoning for this is this team is scared of another team in their division getting this guy. And so they see a need that they have in Avion Terrell, which they do have a need for him, and they want to get him as opposed to letting.
Okay, so I
this other
think you're
team get
scared of the Chiefs getting him because the
Correct.
Texans aren't going to draft him. So who? The Raiders.
It's gotta
The
be
Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, trade back. They use that second round pick, so they trade up from 36 to 27. The 49ers receive 36, 102, and 134 in this year's draft. 36 for 102, and 134 for 27. And now the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock, and they select Avion Terrell, cornerback out of Clemson. He's the next best corner on the board, and the Raiders last year had just 8 interceptions. They also only have 3 true corners on the roster right now, and Eric Stokes, another depth corner, and then they traded for Teron Johnson. They spent a ton of money in the offseason, but they spent it on linebackers, edge rushers, Kwity Paye, Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean, and then on the offense as well, and Jalen Naylor and Tyler Lindenbaum. They have some need at corner, and you're going to need guys that can cover guys, especially if you're going to play in division with Bo Nix and the Broncos, the best quarterback in the division, of course.
That was a very coach speak thing. We just want to go get guys that can cover guys.
You need guys that can cover guys. And Mahomes and Justin Herbert and his receivers, if man. So I think the Raiders see a need there. They don't want the Chiefs to get this guy at 29 because it's that's where he would go at this point. And they're able to trade up and get in at 27.
Sure. Cool.
49ers don't have a true need that they could just pick here that they wouldn't be able to get at 36. Makes a ton of sense for me. It's fun. That leads us to 28, and this pick is fun, in my opinion.
They say screw and get like Omar Cooper.
No.
Do they take
I
Anais
keep
Williams?
guessing that.
Anais Williams? No.
Is that the
You're
Notre
thinking
Dame?
Jadarian Price.
Jadarian Price.
Jadarian
Anais
Price,
Williams is
no.
the third string who I have in fantasy that I've got to stop. I've got to
So
stop thinking
this
he's the
one
one.
is fun.
Also,
I'm struggling
Jadarian.
to think of a fun pick for the Texans. Is the problem?
Is it another defensive player?
It is another defensive player.
Yeah, all right.
The rich get richer.
Is it just Caleb
Is it-
Banks?
No, I feel like it's Keldrick Falk.
It's Keldrick Falk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think with their defensive interior need, they could just move him into defensive interior. And now you have a guy who can rush the passer as a defensive interior. Just another, and they have the ability to take a risk too on a defensive player because if he doesn't hit, which is possible, he's going to be a project. Well, they already got a great defense, and they're going to have a great defense next year regardless. So I like them with Keldrick Falk here. They don't mind taking on a project if he hits. It's the same kind of reasoning we use for Caleb Banks post-combine for the Texans taking him at 28. Yes, he's had questions about production, but if he hits, the rich get richer.
Yep.
And the Texans get that much better on defense. That leads us to 29. The Chiefs take the next best corner available, a guy who will be attending the NFL draft in Pittsburgh, and Colton Hood out of Tennessee. They have a true need at corner because they let Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson go. They traded this pick. They traded Trent McDuffie for this pick, and so I do think they replace Trent McDuffie with this pick. I will be more shocked if they go with a corner at 9 than here at 29 because
Sure.
I fully believe that they're not going to waste a chance to draft the top 10 talent offensive player to pair with Mahomes because they have been missing, not necessarily missing, but they just can't keep the guys that they have drafted here on the field.
Yeah.
Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. So I like them going wide receiver or an offensive weapon first and then coming back to corner. At 30, the Dolphins have the true need at wide receiver. Earlier, they selected Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
I have them doubling up
Sure.
and going with Omar Cooper.
I mean, that's fantastic double up. I mean, also just like the fact that Terrell and Hood just both came off the board, and that's really their other
Yep.
big need. But at that point, you'd have to reach. I mean, your next best corner is like if you're not turned off by D'Angelo upon size, it's him or it's like Keontae Scott.
It's Zissa from South Carolina.
or him, but like it's a clear drop off. So I like the double up.
Yeah, you have two of the best receivers in the Big Ten last year. with some of the best catches in college football last year as well. Paired them with Malik Willis. Malik Willis, if you're not going to pay him that money to not give him a chance, double up on young rookie receivers while you're in a tough cap situation. They also you're adding a chance of one of these guys hits and becomes a superstar by getting 2 chances at it as well. And like with how the board fell, it's kind of what they had to do at this point because they can't really go corner, which means Josh Allen and Drake May are going to throw, and Geno Smith, of course, are going to throw for 10 million touchdowns next year because they get to play the Dolphins.
We're lumping Geno Smith in with Josh Allen and Drake May.
Correct.
All right.
I think Garrett Wilson can just run in a straight line against the Dolphins and he gets open.
Let's not hate on Storm Duck. Is that his name?
Yes,
Storm Duck.
And their other corner is Schubert. I had his name.
I mean, sure, they're getting a corner later in the draft.
They might spend the next 4 of their picks on the corner.
They'll
Or
get,
just
they'll
secondary
get
in
some
general.
Will Lee.
Marco Wilson. That's right. That's what his name was.
That
You
shoe
guys
throw
know-
guy?
Who?
He threw the shoe?
For Florida?
Yeah.
Is
isn't
he
that
the
guy?
shoe throw
I'm pretty
guy?
sure he's got it.
I don't remember that guy's name.
I'm pretty positive that's who that is, which is pretty funny.
That is funny. Crazy. He's still allowed to play in the state of Florida.
Yeah, he probably gets water bottles thrown at him randomly. Regardless, that's a bad DB room. I mean, that's
Yes.
horrible.
In 2020, Florida defensive
that's
back
what I
Marco
thought.
Wilson
Wow.
threw the. That's crazy. You remember that?
Because it's just so ingrained that
It is.
that happened, and that was one of the years I paid. I mean, it was COVID year. There wasn't anything else to do but
True.
lock in on college football. What was there? A&M was phenomenal that year.
Yeah.
So that was an all-time great year, and that Florida team. Just an iconic game. Holy crap! I can't believe you did that.
31, New England Patriots.
Trade.
Nice. That's fun.
The third and final trade.
Hold up. Wait, so someone's coming to get Simpson.
You got a 50-50 chance.
It's either the Jets or the Cardinals.
The Cardinals are doing it.
No.
My hit rate
Dang.
is piss poor, man. Holy.
I had the Patriots trading in division and being super happy about it because I think it would be more. If you asked a Patriots fan, if I asked my brother, are you more scared of the Jets having Arch Manning or Dante Moore or someone or Lenore Sellers next year or Ty Simpson this year?
It's
I think
100%.
It's 100% the other guy.
I bet Dante Moore, Lenora Sellers, who else? Dylan Rayola, no,
Arch Manning.
Arch Manning, DJ Lagway.
Wow.
Those are just a few of the guys that I would be more scared of than Ty Simpson. But also, it's the Jets, so you're just not scared of the Jets.
Yeah, and Ty Simpson, I just I hate the fit for the New York Jets too.
Yeah.
He doesn't make sense as a quarterback that can throw in that cold weather for them. Like I get, he's kind of been a winner, and he's a coach's kid, and he feels like he's a franchise quarterback. He's got a 5-star quarterback throwing mechanics. Like he's got great mechanics, but he just doesn't fit that. The Jets, I think he fits way more with the Arizona Cardinals, and I would like his future way better with them than the Jets. But the Patriots, no fear in allowing the Jets to trade in to select Ty Simpson. Like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Let him commit to a 5th-year option as well in 4 years. The Pats receive $179 and $33. That's all that is part of this capital. That's all you really need to do to trade up 2 picks. And the New York Jets select Ty Simpson, quarterback, Alabama, with the 31st overall pick in the 2026 draft.
And that brings us to the final team.
A great little nightcap.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope this pick is fun. We got to end on a fun one.
I think this is fun. Cassius Howell,
I mean, I think it's just a fantastic fit. for
edge
him.
rusher. I agree. Out of Texas A&M.
He can just be in a pretty deep defensive end rotation, not too much on his plate right off rip. I love it.
That
All right.
concludes this mock. My pick is still going to be Jordan Tyson, but do you guys have a pick for most fun pick of the fun mock draft?
I mean, Jordan Tyson's up there.
I'm gonna go the Dolphins both there. I just the getting Carnell Tate and Omar Cooper Jr. I think is really fun. Like that could create some, if Malik Willis is the guy and you were right to give him that 3-year contract and you were right to take your chance. That could be really, really fun. But also offense is just fun. Like the reality, if you want to do a fun mock draft, you just have every team draft running back, wide receiver, tight end.
Yeah.
That's a fun mock draft. But I think the Dolphins are pretty fun.
Yeah,
Biased, it's Cassius Howe for me. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's like a dream. Realistically, though, I think it is Kenyon Sadiq at 9 to the Chiefs for me.
I think that's a top 3 one as well. The Dolphins ones, both of them are really fun. Malik Willis gonna rise up fantasy draft boards
For sure.
now with 2 actual receivers instead of the receivers he has in house, which is Malik Washington and that's all I know right now. So they need someone. They need a good receiver.
I think that KC to Carolina is also pretty fun because I think about
Every wide receiver
McMillan.
pick is fun.
correct. That's why I
you're
was
not wrong. You're not wrong.
But like I think about Tedero McMillan and his big frame and some of the crazy catches he had. I think that KC can come in and complement that well as the guy who's going to get separation, who's going to run really clean routes, who's going to have really good after the catch stuff, who's going to do work screens really well. Not going in on Bryce Young, but I think that's a really good weapon to continue to give
for their
him
next
opportunities.
quarterback.
Yeah, to continue to give him
Yeah.
opportunities or their next quarterbacks.
For when they draft
Lenore
Dante
Sellers.
Moore next year.
See, I don't know if they're gonna be that bad.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
fair.
so.
That's fair. Lenore Sellers may work.
Like they're gonna be in games with
I
like
think they're going to be I think DJ Lagway is the next quarterback.
they're
there.
gonna be in competitive games with the Giants and the Browns
yeah.
or whoever they play in that top 10, and Bryce is gonna lead a game-winning drive, and then they'll beat, of course, a team they're not supposed to once or twice. So
Did they pick up his 5th-year option?
yes,
Okay. The real question is, after having done this, first of all, genius, because now I know if you never want to get critiqued for your mock draft, just call it a fun mock draft.
Yeah.
We made 0 negative comments, which was fine. We just kind of zipped through it and was like, yeah, that's fun. That's fun. 0
Yeah.
negative comments.
Yeah.
So what next football season, my top 25 is my fun top 25.
Oh, okay. Yep. I look forward to that.
Every week, he's like, it's my fun top 25.
Did you pull up your fall mock draft from
Yeah,
last
yeah,
year?
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I would love to see what you were looking at in the fall, how you had things setting up. Because I think I
So-
saw, for example, Caden Proctor at 2.
I
and
did.
glanced
So
over.
this is from, I believe, October 15th. I
Okay.
was looking because I was trying to see if I did have Jordan Tyson go to the Browns,
Mm.
which I did not. I had him go 5th, and in yours you had him go 6th, which is where the confusion, because I was like, I had him go in that range.
Yeah, and the teams
Yeah.
were just different at the
First
time.
overall, Lenore Sellers to the Jets. That aged like milk in a Mississippi summer.
I still think he's worth that value.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe. Would you draft him now to have him next year? If you could do that in the NFL, would you use your first round pick?
because I think we need to win the division this year.
2nd overall, Caden Proctor. 3rd overall, Peter Woods, defensive interior from Clemson. Mendoza, 4th to the Dolphins. Spencer Fano, still at 6, so a little bit higher, but he's still up there. He's tackle 2 in this draft, just behind a different guy. Caleb Downs at 8 to the Raiders. Jeremiah Love at 10 to the Cardinals. TJ Parker at 12 to the Cowboys. Ty Simpson at 13 to the Panthers.
Love that.
Jennings Dunker, tackle from Iowa, to the Chiefs at 14.
Best hair in the draft.
Yep.
David Bailey at 16 to the Bears. Dante Moore, who returned to college for another year, at 17 to the Rams. Arvell Reese at 20 to the Broncos. Carnell Tate at 21 to the Browns. Connor Liu at 23 to the Lions, center from Auburn. Keldrick Falk to the Chargers at 26. Kenyon Sadiq to the Eagles at 28. Romello Height at 29 to the Cowboys. Garrett Nussmeier, G. Nussy sneaks into the first round, 30
Shout out
to the
G. Nussy.
Steelers.
5 quarterbacks.
Yes, Sellers was 1, Mendoza was 2, Simpson was 3, Moore was 4,
Nussmeier.
G. Nussey was 5.
5, yeah.
R. Mason Thomas at 31 to the Bucks. Wow, that's first of all, it's crazy. Is the Colts picked 32nd when I did this draft. The Bucks picked 31st.
Imagine a Bucks Colts Super Bowl.
Yeah, but yeah, that was my October 15th mock draft, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
The real question is we did a fun mock draft. Are we going to do a sad mock draft now, where no one comes away happy?
Might have to.
So it's like
I
the
like that
Raiders.
idea.
The Raiders just draft another edge rusher. The Rams draft a quarterback. Obviously, the Chiefs draft Garrett Nussmeier at 9th overall to back up Patrick Mahomes. The Bengals go get another wide receiver because why not? Like,
Yeah.
could we do a mock draft where nothing is fun and everyone is miserable?
The Bengals drafting a receiver would be fun.
No, it wouldn't.
Their fans would hate it. I'd be excited.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Imagine us
Oh,
live
man.
on the draft.
The
and they
Lions
pull
draft
out.
a running back. The Lions drafted Darian Price
Oh, there you go.
at 17. The Vikings draft. I'm gonna say I
Ty
don't-
Simpson. The
Ty
9.
Simpson.
Ty
The
Simpson's a
9,
good fit there.
yeah. Panthers draft another quarterback. I mean, for a lot of teams, it's just drafting a quarterback because that would piss
yeah,
off
you'd
the
have to
fans.
try and get pretty creative with it.
Hey, that's what
But,
would make it
yeah,
fun.
it would
Oh
make it
no,
fun.
it can't. That's what would make it sad. I mean,
Make it fun to make people sad.
Yeah. Make the worst mock draft possible. Houston Texans draft a true edge rusher at 28, as opposed to the guy who Keldrick Falk who can
Yeah,
move
sure.
inside. The Bills draft running back. They go get who's another running back?
Big Jimmy from Arkansas.
Yeah. Who had the really good Mike Washington? Yes.
Yep, thank you.
I mean, then there's some teams who I don't think you could, like the Raiders. I don't know who you could draft that, like, if you drafted the best player at that position, that would be like couldn't start for them.
I mean, this Kenyon Sadiq just doesn't start in a.
That's a great. Okay, well there you go.
one tight end
Raiders,
look.
Kenyon Sadiq first overall.
I don't think any kicker is starting over Daniel
Well,
Carson.
we're not.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't think any
excluding
punter-
kickers and punters.
I don't think any
excluding
punter
kickers and
starting over
punters.
AJ Cole.
We're
Yeah.
So that's
not
3.
counting kickers and punters.
I don't think anyone's starting over DJ Glaze. So
I hope not.
I need him to get another chance, man.
But like the Browns, who are they drafting that you just isn't starting? Like if you take the best player at that position, like David Bailey at the Browns is starting across from Myles
He is.
Garrett, which like is still like that's just not a position of need, but he's still starting.
well, I mean, no one's starting over Shadur.
Okay,
According to Mel Kiper.
according
Yeah,
to Mel
according to
Kiper
Mel
and
Kiper.
to the head coach who said that Shador is the starter for next year.
Cool. Shout out Shadur.
I think I bookmarked a tweet to talk about, and I sometimes do that and often forget. So I'm glad
See
that
what
I
you got.
remembered. I hope that it is funny. Yes. Okay. This was funny. This is a guy on Twitter who said that he's obsessed with the NFL Draft Simulator. He doesn't use PFF. He uses PFSN, which is free. So if you want to do your own mock draft, I highly recommend using PFSN. I fiddle with it a little bit for the NBA. But he said, for fun, which is on pattern and was unintentional. Did not mean
Yeah.
to have a for fun tweet. But for fun, I had the Jets accept the best of every trade offered. And when there was no offer, they traded out of their position. 55 trades. They drafted no one. Got 67 draft picks for 2027. Still got a draft grade of C, which is respectable. And then the reason I saw it is Steve Palazzolo quote tweeted or a comment and said, Super Bowl in 4 years. So
Yeah.
that was a funny tweet that I saw.
There's not enough roster spots.
No, there's not. To draft 67 guys in 1 year.
But you just
Um,
start packaging some of those down the line. Keep
Sure, you
snowballing
just
it.
keep pushing it away.
The Jaguars officially making Travis Hunter a full-time cornerback
Big time.
per rap sheet.
Aiden
He
Teal.
will have some gadget plays on offense, but no longer the 50-50 split.
Tough.
Aiden Teal not listed on the injury report for tomorrow.
Big.
So should be 100p healthy.
Love to hear it. All right, well, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
About a 2-hour show. It was a good show. It was a fun show.
Very fun show.
For obvious reasons.
Faster than I thought.
Yeah, and we'll be back on Monday for the NBA playoff preview, which I can't wait for. It'll be a fun kind of
Already.
couple months for the show already. We're going to, see what Sanders got in the tank.
Oh, am I doing 100 players on Monday?
No.
Oh,
that's
thank
that's
goodness.
by the end of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
NBA Finals time, we'll do that.
Yeah. But
Yes,
it's just
we'll have more time to kill then.
it should be a
Correct.
fantastic NBA playoffs. So many good storylines, so many big time matchups.
I don't think you have to
look
knock on wood for that because it's just going to be.
What is?
You saying that we're going to have a fantastic NBA playoffs.
It always is. But I think
Yeah.
this one could be like we could have a couple special series
Yeah.
that like we look back on in 8 years and are like, wow, that was
Yeah.
an utter joy. It was something special. That being said, thanks to everyone who tuned in and listened. Thanks to everyone who listens post
Hope you had fun.
live and just the recording. I hope you had fun. Subscribe, hit the like button if you feel like it, and we'll be back for you all Monday. Peace.
See ya.